Thanks, everybody. Hello. Nice to see y'all.
Hi.
I love you all together.
Well,
This is interesting. It's intimidating.
it's like a class project. But I just want to ask you before we jump into it, have you ever seen a New York Jets fan in the wild? Because we have the one here on this interview. Aaron Parnas is the Jets
It's not
fan.
easy. I mean, I honestly and you know what? It's one thing to be a Jets fan. It's another to have Tom Brady just a few weeks ago laying you guys out.
Well, I'll just say
Nasty.
that you know I'm a real football fan because I'm a Jets fan. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, I mean, I'll give you that. And look, I'm empathetic by nature, so I'm deeply mindful of your struggles, and I want to express
Thank you.
appreciation for your loyalty.
Thank
Governor,
you.
you shouldn't be empathetic for him. He tells us that the Jets are going to go undefeated this season, that they're going to the Super Bowl, they have the best roster, that Justin Fields is the best quarterback in the league. This guy is so braggadocious when it comes to his trash football team. So I know you're a better man than me. I feel no empathy for this guy.
Yeah, I know, but you kind of have to feel that after that first game a couple years ago where the guy actually believed what he said. He doesn't believe it now, but he used to believe it 2 years ago. He actually thought
You're
he had
right.
a chance.
You're right.
Ooh,
They had Aaron
ouch.
Rodgers in the defense and whatever. Yeah.
As a Giants
no
fan, I
comment
can't
on
talk.
Aaron Rodgers, period. Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole nother conversation. As a Giants fan, I can't really talk too much smack right now, but I digress. Let's jump in. We are incredibly honored to be joined on the Siren Podcast by the Governor of California, Governor Gavin Newsom. Welcome to the Siren Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I mean, you're making some news. You're a very busy man. So let's just jump right on in. Can you please explain to our audience, what you're doing in the state of California regarding the potential redistricting of your congressional maps and why this may be something you have to do?
Well, we're fighting fire with fire. We don't want to do this, but to your point, your question rather, we have to do it at peril of being judged not only not to have lived, but to be judged watching democracy slip from right out underneath us. The reality is it's not just Texas that Donald Trump believes he's entitled to 5 congressional seats. He has sent his vice president to Indiana. He's making the case not just to what's going on up in Ohio, but Florida, Missouri, and other states. I imagine it's just the beginning, what, as we speak, is occurring in real time in Texas. And so our mindset here in California is one of accountability, responsibility. We have agency. We're not bystanders. We can shape the future. And by taking some responsibility and moving assertively, as we have with the California legislature that just yesterday introduced a special election, a constitutional amendment that will, in essence, nullify the 5 votes that they claim to be picking up in Texas by asking the voters in a transparent and temporary way to make a determination for themselves to change our maps mid-decade in response to what occurred in Texas on November 4th.
Well, Governor, I want to jump in and ask you about some news that we heard about today, which is California Republicans filed an emergency petition with the California Supreme Court to block this redistricting push, saying that Democrats are violating the state constitution's 30-day review rule by rushing the bill through. What's your response to that? Are you at all concerned that this redistricting effort will fail in the courts?
Well, I find it rather rich that they've woken up to gerrymandering. They've woken up to redistricting. They've said not a word about what's going on in other states. What didn't happen as it relates to their congressional representatives, Republicans that did not support the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that incorporated a national independent redistricting frame. Democrats overwhelmingly supported that. Only one party has come out in support of national independent redistricting. And now they realize what's at stake because they weren't counting on this. They were counting us to cave. They were counting us to, talk about the way the world should be, hold hands and have a candlelight vigil. And then once again, watch us get rolled. And this time we didn't do it. And we're fighting back. And as a consequence, they recognize what's at stake because they know that the voters likely will have not only each other's back, but this country and our backs. As it relates to the democracy and the core tenets of our founding fathers, these enduring values that we've enjoyed and frankly taken for granted for 249 years. They recognize that they will likely lose this November when we put a constitutional amendment in front of the voters That's why I think the Supreme Court in the state will reject their assertions and give the people the right to make the determination for themselves. That's the ultimate expression of democracy, direct democracy in this case.
And Governor, what do you make of people like Greg Abbott, who has gone on Fox News in recent days and said that California is the problem, not Texas, and that he and other Republicans are going to try to take legal action to strike it down, as Aaron just kind of alluded to in California?
Well, I thought there was some AI. I didn't even, I saw some, honestly, I thought, though, this is obviously fake. I mean, it's delusional. I mean, no situational awareness. I mean, it's shockingly delusional. Look in the mirror, sir. You're the one who initiated this. You coward. You coward. You couldn't stand up to the bully. You couldn't stand up to Donald Trump. You had to kiss his feet. You couldn't stand up for our democracy. Couldn't stand up for principles. You had to do something that's unprecedented, midterm redistricting, knowing he knew this was wrong. In fact, you can go back to some of the early reporting. He was initially hesitant, but he realized his political career was done, over. And that was more important to him than our enduring values, the best of the Roman Republic and Greek democracy, the rule of law, co-equal branches of government, were less important to him than his own political future. Popular sovereignty, less important to him than his own political future. So I don't even know where to get started. I saw some of his comments. They're ludicrous. And I'll remind him, but I'll remind everybody, if they don't move, if Republicans stand back, they have an off-ramp. This initiative, our efforts don't go forward. We're doing this only in response to what he's doing. So if he doesn't want us to move forward, he has some capacity to influence that, not just in his own state, but by making the case to other governors in other states that this is not the right thing to do, that we should all stand back, support nationalized, independent redistricting, and we should let voters choose their representatives, not the other way around.
Well, I want to jump in on that point that you mentioned, Governor, that if he backs off, y'all will back off. What does that look like logistically? I mean, once a special election is called, can you just take it off the calendar? Like, what does that look like?
It's just triggered. So there's actual language that doesn't go into effect unless, but the timing works it's seemingly very concurrent right now. They called a new special session in Texas. They're moving forward with hearings, and they're likely to move forward with a vote in just a matter of days as well. So we're doing the same in California as it relates to moving forward our proposal. But the difference is it's night and day. Ours is done in a transparent way. We're putting the maps up. The voters will have the opportunity to decide for themselves. So it's democratic, and it's also temporary. We maintain our independent redistricting commission. We maintain the integrity of that for all statewide redistricting. But as it relates to the congressional side, we are forced and compelled by their actions to fight fire with fire. And we will respond, and we'll do it in 2026, 2028, and 2030. And then it will revert back with the traditional 10-year census to that independent redistricting framework.
I have a question related to how we can all acknowledge that this is likely not going to stop with Texas. We now have J.D. Vance talking to Indiana, likely Missouri will be following suit, Ohio, Florida. I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about the conversations you may be having with governors in blue states like New York, Illinois, Maryland, et cetera. And then what would you say to people who would say this is a race to the bottom, that this isn't fighting fire with fire necessarily, as it's just tit for tat, cheating, rigging, et cetera?
Well, it is. Donald Trump is trying to rig the election. Donald Trump knows he's going to lose in 2026. Donald Trump has 6 acolytes in other states sending National Guard in red states to blue cities. Donald Trump knows he's going to lose. That's why he sent the Border Patrol to our Democracy Center event when we launched this campaign last week at the hollow site, the site where we were sending the Japanese, interning the Japanese, the exact same location. It's a preview of things to come. I said this months ago. And what more evidence do you need than what's occurring in Washington, D.C.? I said that what's happening in LA and the federalization of the National Guard, sending of the United States military, the Marines, 700 of them, 4,700 in total, is a preview of things to come across this country. What you saw happen with the Border Patrol and ICE is a preview of things to come in front of voting booths. They're going to try to suppress voting this November. I mean, this is existential, this moment. And so we can act holier than thou. We can have two hands tied behind our back. We can have a nice independent academic conversation about, boy, it was really not so bad in 2025, but boy, we lost our country in 2026. And now we have a third-term president in 2028 and 2029. What happened to co-equal branches of government? What happened to the rule of law? It's now the rule of Don. We could do that. I'm just not going to allow that. Earth 2. I live in Earth 1. We have agency. We can shape it. And we've got to fight back. And we got to wake up, disabuse ourselves as Democrats. I'm sick of being weak. I'm sick of being effete. I'm sick of being non-consequential. It's not good enough to say it. It's time to do. So your question was a very good one. I hope, I pray that other governors, as they're in church, as they pray, they move their feet. It's faith and works. Let's go. California's not the only game in town. There's dozens and dozens of blue states out there. There's opportunity here. Look, you think it was easy for what we did? I couldn't do this just through my legislature, even though we have 2/3 of the legislature, both houses. We need to go back in front of the voters. I need to raise $100+ million. I need the people watching to support this effort, not just with $3. That would be amazing, 20, whatever you can afford, but boots on the ground. I need you to make phone calls and text messages. They're coming. He's trying to rig not only the 2026 election. What more evidence did he need yesterday? He's trying to rig this one by literally shutting down mail-in voting. This is happening. Everyone, wake up. Wake up. He's militarizing American cities. I mean, this is Putin's playbook. This is authoritarianism. It's happening. All of these are component parts. And so I pray people understand how precious what we've enjoyed and experienced. We may be shaking the machine, angry with our democracy, our representative democracy, our republic. But my gosh, how precious it is at this moment. And you are the only thing that can stop them. Everyone watching, we're the only people that can stop them, but we have to be held to account. And that's not just people in California. I encourage other governors and other legislative leaders to do the same in their states.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And you know what? I'll say this. I know y'all have been so serious and polite with your comments and questions. Governor Newsom, I am a Texas Democrat. I live in Texas right now. And I was at 2 of the public hearings they had about these redistricting maps. I was at the one in Austin where I watched someone get arrested. And then I was at the one in Houston where I watched them repeatedly threaten to throw everyone out of the room because we were cheering people's testimony too loudly. And so I know there's a lot of people out there who look at what you're doing and they'll say things like, you're going too far, or this shouldn't be done. And as someone who is living and breathing in the environment that this is being done right now, I can tell you, I sat there for over 10 hours and watched the Republicans in our state legislature as they listened to their constituents beg and plead for them to have a conscience. And they were on their phones. They weren't paying attention. They were laughing. They were chastising them. So for the people who I hear respond to what you're doing and they're like, well, I don't know if we should do this. I'll tell you this. I might be a Texas Democrat, but I'll have boots down on the ground in California to help get this ballot initiative passed, because what they're doing here is so unconscionable. And I am so grateful that a Democratic governor in a different state gives enough of a shit about the people who are living here in my home that you're doing something about it. So I appreciate that very, very much.
Well, I appreciate you and thank you for that. Look, this is the architecture. Everything else is possible. These guys aren't screwing around, folks. They want to roll back all the progress the last half century. I mean it. They do. What more evidence do you need? Voting rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights. This is rights regression. They want to turn back the clock. They want to put America in reverse. This is about power. This is not about party. And this is serious. If you care about your kids, your grandkids, your friends, your family, you care about each other, you care about this issue. This is it. There's no do-over. We don't get this back. This guy's not screwing around. He's not. I mean, this is a guy who literally celebrated the fact that, well, Putin himself said, sir, mail-in balloting is, I mean, this is a guy who's rigged all his elections, Putin, giving advice to Trump. Trump took it. I mean, what more sensibilities you need? And I say this to Republicans out there. I pray you pay attention to what's going on. This is not about, he doesn't care about the Republican Party. He took it over. He's an invasive species. The Republican Party it doesn't even reflect itself. I mean, look at these Republicans cowering to this guy. Look at your Republican governor, used to claim to be a conservative. What a farce. Nothing conservative about this. I mean, by definition, nothing conservative about this. This is radical rigging of a midterm election. Radical rigging of an election. Destroying, vandalizing this democracy, the rule of law. So I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Oh, amen to that. Thank you. Because to your point, and to Olivia's less polite point, and I'm going to keep it real as much as I can right now, I'm sick and fucking tired of watching these institutions capitulating and bending the knee. I am sick and tired of watching law firms and higher education institutions bending the knee and obeying in advance. And I've had it with that kind of weakness. So when I write about your fight right now and the way you are meeting this moment, fire with fire, people respond to that because they are sick of it too. And he's going after UCLA right now and trying to bribe them, trying to get them to bend the knee. And UCLA is hell no. And please, out there, everybody, Harvard, don't do it. Stop capitulating. But this UCLA thing, can you talk about that a little bit? He's going after UCLA. All of this is just retribution, because he's a little small person. I hesitate to say the things I would normally say, but let's just say anatomically, we know there's a little bit of overcompensation. But yeah, can you talk about what he's trying to do to UCLA?
Well, he's a broken man, and he's trying to break this country. That's for sure. There's no question about that. That said, let's take a step back, because what you said is just it's so critically important. And that's referring to you, Skadden Arps. That's referring to you, Paul Weiss. That's referring to you, Brown University. That's referring to you, Columbia University. And yes, I hope you're listening, Harvard. 50 plus 52, $3 billion in endowment. What the hell is the point of an endowment if you cannot stand up for the cultivation of individual or independent thought? Because that's what this is all about. He is literally trying to shut down institutions across the spectrum, and that includes the media, ABC, that includes the media, CBS, that includes private companies, some of the wealthiest in the world, NVIDIA, 15%, selling out 10% to the dear leader, Intel. You can't, the crony, any institution that reflects any variant of cultivating any kind of independent thinking, and institutions of higher learning, front and center. The finest public university system on planet Earth, the UC system, that is sitting on 13,800, don't quote me, roughly 13,800 active patents, more than any other system in the world. The conveyor belt for talent, the reason California is the tentpole of the U.S. economy, the reason America is the tentpole of the world economy, pushing out the boundaries of science and discovery, more scientists, engineers, researchers, more Nobel laureates, the envy of the world. He's trying to break them down. He's trying to gut the research that keeps our national defense system operational, that keeps us dominant in quantum, keeps us dominant in artificial intelligence. He is telling us we have to have 3 co-equal payments. and we have to submit to an oversight agreement.
Mm.
$1 billion fine to UCLA, one of the finest institutions of higher learning on the planet. It will not happen as long as I'm governor. I'm on the UC Regents. We will stand tall. We will fight back. We are not these Ivy League schools, and we are not these law firms, and we sure as hell aren't these media companies that are selling out for short-termers. I care too much about you and your kids and your grandkids. I care less about situational values. I care about sustainable values in every way, shape, or form. We will stand up to those enduring values. UCLA will fight back, and we will win. It may take a while, but we will win.
Governor, I just want to hop in quickly before we finish off. And I want to ask, a lot of folks often say, you know what, the news is doom and gloom. It's very upsetting. What can I do about it? What can people do who are watching this right now, whether they're in California or across the country, to help out with the redistricting efforts? Where can they go? I mean, what do you want people to know right now?
Well, look, there's two things. One is everybody watching has one thing in common. They haven't given up. You wouldn't be watching. You'd be tuning out. You'd be watching Real Housewives or something, or I don't know what, on Bravo, which is fine too. No knock. I respect that. I do. I need a little of that maybe myself. I haven't tuned in a while. That said, people haven't tuned out. You're watching. You're listening. Meaning you haven't given to cynicism. You haven't given to the fear. You haven't given to the anxiety. I talk all the time. I've talked to some of you individually about all that stacking of stress, everything that all of you have been through, all of you listening have been through, where you deserve grace, which is all the pandemic and all the social unrest. We forget about the social unrest came right after the pandemic, and all the shock to a system, supply chains, and just this unmooring that we're all feeling around institutions that have been there for us and fight for the rights of minorities against the whims of the majority. And that idea that you have a governor and an AG that threatened the arrest of Texas representatives, where you have the courage of Nicole Collier, who's sitting there as we speak in the Texas House, and she's saying, as a Black woman, I'm not going to submit to the oversight of an overlord that demands that I sign my name over to have a security to look at every single thing I do to deny me my freedom, my fundamental rights. This is a moment. And there's all these sparks. There's all these reasons to be hopeful because of people like that, people individually, collectively, that are stepping up and stepping into the fight, that haven't given up. We, the people. I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound like getting romantic and turn music on, but like this is about grit. This is about hard work, to your question. This is about determination. This is about fighting good fight. This is not going to be easy. He's not making this easy, but we can win. We're going to win as long as you don't give up. And, to the extent you want to be part of what we're doing, we've got this campaign that's we call it, it's Prop 50, because it's about all 50 states. This is not about just Texas or California or Texas versus California. This is about the United States of America. This is about all of us. Everyone listening can tune into this, not just this conversation, but tune up and get involved and get in texting campaigns and share your social media and share your voice and your thoughts in an authentic way, in a way that doesn't talk down to people or past people, but that elevates all of us. And I just think if we do that, we're going to succeed, not just on November 4th. We're going to succeed next year in that critical election that will define our fate and future. And we'll see Speaker Jeffries get sworn in as the new Speaker of the House. And the end of the Trump administration will be accelerated. De facto, we will have a co-equal branch of government back. We will have oversight, and the rule of law will be established once again. So this is it. This is our moment. Let's do it.
You're getting me hyped up, Governor. I'm sitting here. I'm ready. I'm getting hyped up.
I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's
No, but it is. It's, back to church, faith and works.
action.
Move. Let's do it.
Action. No more words. No more
action.
sternly
It's,
written memos.
I can't take another memo or a speech. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm one of these people that do them all the time. forgive me. It's like, I think it was Oliver Wendell Holmes. Great quote. Bobby Kennedy my hero was Bobby Kennedy Sr., that is. And he used to quote Oliver Wendell Holmes. But he said, as life is action and passion. This is Oliver Wendell Holmes. As life is action and passion, it's required of all of us to share the action and passion of our time at peril of being judged not to have lived. And he was saying that each of us will be judged, but ultimately, and here's the point, judge ourselves to the extent we contribute to life, our city, our state, our nation, the world we're trying to build. So this notion of being held in judgment, but judging ourselves, I think this is the moment. We're not bystanders. This is not about the guy or gal on the white horse to save the day. You're it, man. Tag, you're it. In a democracy, you're the most important person. You're the most important office of citizen. And so it's about active, not inert citizenship. Forgive me for going on and on. I'm just praying that you don't give up. I'm praying. I'm counting on you. I got 4 kids, took 2 of them to school today, first day of school. Man, it's not an academic exercise, their little civics class, their little history class anymore. It's changing in real time. And I pray. When I was their age, I took it all for granted. You can't now. Can't. That's it.
I can't let you go without asking. Speaking of meeting the moment, speaking of catharsis, your social media game, your team is fucking killing it right now. I know you know that, but I have to tell you what that does for our side. It fires us up. It gets us going. These memes of you riding a velociraptor with like a 12-pack and 2 freaking rifles in your hand.
Oh, I know. I'm in good shape. How about my bicep?
I bet you could do a real pull-up
And
on
the
like
10-pack,
head
not
and
even
the other,
10-pack.
yeah. But I want to just show you one of your team's tweets where you've been going after DJT in his all caps style. So Sam's going to put this up on the screen. Beyond the beautiful, perfect maps, Donald J. Trump has much bigger problems. Soon, Gavin C. Newsom, will be sharing records that should concern him. I didn't want to release them out of respect for the office of the president, not the president. But Mike Littleman Johnson's House Oversight Committee has requested them. Whoops. Won't be pretty for Donnie J. Many are saying it could be the final nail in his long career of lying. This and the maps, it's over. Thank you for your attention to this matter, DC. And sir, I cannot tell you how much medicine this is for me to be seeing these every day and all up in the replies of like Tommy Lauren, etc. It is amazing. So I just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I know. I mean, even poor Kid Rock. These guys, they've become a little precious, haven't they? These folks at Fox. They're like, this is so unbecoming of a governor. Oh. And meanwhile, they sit there reading his tweets every single day. Are they that tonally out of touch? I mean, it's jaw-dropping how precious and concerned New York Post has gotten all of a sudden. How the Wall Street Journal head board is like, oh, no, we can't have this. I mean, what? I hope we're exposing it all. I hope we're exposing it all, and I hope we're entertaining some people. And by the way, what I said in that tweet, there's some merit. This is also real. Read between those lines. What the House Oversight just asked me to provide, I did provide. And I think it's very interesting. And so that conversation with Trump is going to be made public. Sorry, Mr. President. That's what happens when you weaponize government. And so you get, not just give, you get. And that's
you are living up to the nickname you have been given on social media, which is Gavin Newsom.
Oh, Newsom. I didn't hear that. I only hear new scum from Trump. I haven't heard Newsom. I like that.
This is a good one. And
I really like my biceps, though. I like the fact that I'm in that kind of good shape.
Did you know that you also circumnavigated the globe?
Finally, some untouched photos of me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you also circumnavigated the globe. You've rescued many kittens and puppies, all while holding the flag.
I know. I'm part of Superman 3 or 5 now. Yeah, that's right. I'm sitting on there, dinosaurs. I'm flying around. What the heck? By the way, I literally, honestly, this is not where I'm scrolling. So this is stuff that people send me, like my little nieces and nephews. They're all sending me this stuff. And I'm like, oh gosh, what is going on out there? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Back to, look, I've been legit, right? You like the biceps?
You know what?
That's a real photo, by the way. This has not been touched.
Right, Like, it's
Not a
really
damn
not
part
that
of that
far
was
off.
touched.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had Trump on a
No,
motorcycle
it's not.
jumping over
It's
the
not far
moon.
off at all.
Yeah.
No. No.
And
Keep
I
your
don't know
heart out, Arnold. I'm just
I don't know.
saying. So the Terminator, come
Yeah.
on, listen to me
Yeah.
now and hear me later.
Pick things up and put them down. Does anybody have any last thoughts or
All right,
questions
I'm in
before we
trouble
let the
here.
amazing
Jesus.
governor go?
This is the best. Like I
Yeah.
said that being a Texas Democrat is like being a Jets fan. It's really difficult to get some good news here, but you've given it to us, and like Carrie said, I'm fired up. I'm ready to knock doors. I'm ready to collect signatures. Whatever we need to do, I'm ready to do it.
I love that. That's what matters to me. Thank you. Seriously, that's the why. I mean, there's always the why. Stand up for ideals and strike out against injustice. Strike out against injustice. Stand up for ideals. That's my why. Honestly, it transcends everything. It's the lens to which I see the world. I know I'm hardly perfect. I get it. With humility, I say this. But I think it's time for us to stand up for ideals and strike out against injustice wherever we see it. And we're seeing it, and I'm sorry, in your home state in Texas. And we are standing up and we're fighting back.
Well, that's a
Thanks.
perfect place to end this. I don't think we need anybody. I don't think we need you to be perfect, Governor. I think we need a fighter. And I think that's exactly what you are in this moment. And
Yeah.
I, for one, am incredibly, incredibly grateful for that.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And don't worry, Jets haven't lost a game all season. So go on.
Josh, you're a good start.
Cheated.
Well,
My God.
that concludes this episode of the Siren Podcast. Thank you, Governor Gavin Newsom. Thank you, Harry Sisson, Aaron Parnas, Olivia Giuliana. I'm Jo Carducci. I really appreciated this time and this conversation. I love keeping it real and talking to each other and meeting each other in the moment we're living in right now, which is extraordinary and unrelentless. So thank you so much, Governor. Thanks to all my friends on the panel. This was an incredible conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Governor.
Great to be with everybody. Thank you, guys.